welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tame One. That's my homie Pestilence over there. And tonight, special guest, part of the Artifacts, part of XL. So many dope things, man. The homie Elder Sensei in the fucking house. What's going on?
What up, y'all? Peace.
Yes, man. Before we dive into anything historical back in the day, anything like that, I honestly want to know how the process began and how it's going. The Elder Sensei UG of Cellar Dwellers record. I want to know. I want to know about it.
Okay. Well, right now, it's on me. With a lot of stuff that I'm doing. It's pretty much me and UG been talking about doing this record for a minute, and he was like, "Oh, we got to get this cracking like now." So, like myself, UG was like, "Look, I'm going to start it off. Usually, I'm the one doing that, but I have somebody that's next to me that's willing to push the buttons first. So and most times I tell people I need that a lot because I'm usually the one that's putting things together. So he started on a few joints, and then I just added some versions for mine. But I'm gonna just say I told him the thing I don't want to do, not say rush this, because I know who he is as an MC and as a producer too. But I just wanted to be right. A lot of times, cats get together and do projects, and it's not going to take as long as me and Sadat did. But even when we did our record, it was a lot of years put in. But the end result was dope because we had 22 damn songs, and we put them all on one record. But with me and UG, I know who he is as an MC. Excuse me, being a fan of Cellar Dwellers, I know what he's capable of. So if you think about putting us together, I would, like I told him, because this is new for both of us, we got to get used to each other. We got to find our chemistry. Even if we both know good on the mic, I think that once we figure things out on how we want to present it, like song by song for song, and have the bars equally like meshing and chemistry together, I think that then we'll be able to like string up a bunch of songs out. Because that for me, it's just really sitting down. And I told him, I said, maybe I got to come to his crib. 'Cause I know he recorded in the house too. So this has been a long time in the making. So I just wanted to be right.
That's dope, man. Well, I can't wait to hear that. Is UG doing? Is he doing a bunch of beats on the
He's
record too,
doing
man?
he's doing some production as well. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope, man. Can you speak on the other production on the record, or?
Um, few other cats. My man Kick Beats. He submitted some stuff. I got a few joints. My man Yamin is not a lot of producers, but pretty much things I had already that I let him hear that he liked. My man D Smooth. He pretty much might have the single locked in already. So it's not a lot of cats, but isn't we got enough. But I think people are gonna be surprised. They're gonna be surprised.
That's dope, man. And are you planning on doing the same? I mean, we're talking pre-pandemic when you and Sadat did
Mhm.
the XL and then you toured to promote it. You're still out there on the road. Clearly, I mean, we're playing Rock the Block together in Albuquerque in like a
Right.
week. But uh, is the plan going to be the same? Like, are you and UG gonna go out on the road and do some runs, or?
Pretty much. With a lot of these releases, I would love to do that. You know what I'm saying? But as we all both know, we're doing touring. Everybody's touring right now. So it's like trying to find your way in the door. A lot of these places. I like to go overseas. Do a lot of stuff with UG that I didn't do with Sadat, or maybe didn't do with Tame, and because it's something new, people probably we don't know who we're gonna turn on to this project, but I would hope to think that we can get a lot of things done, and especially with UG, because him coming from where he come from, they got a lot of channels they've been in, and that I haven't probably been to either. So it's really about just putting our powers together, and I aspire to go on tour with every damn project. So even if it's not a tour, pop up events, record stores, whatever can be done, but that is definitely the goal with every release.
I feel that. Well, when that shit's ready to go, I don't know where we're gonna be. My homie Pestilence and his roommate basically well, his roommate basically runs. I don't really know what it is, but they work together on it. There's a spot that we're starting to book out shows in Green Bay called Mad World Artist Collective. Like I said, I don't know where be
Right.
at that
I
point
get
as
what I'm
far
talking about, bro.
as far as a budget situation.
Okay.
But um I mean, I'd love to have y'all out again, man. I mean, clearly, Milwaukee's a weird place. We tried that, you know,
Hey,
it's
look, we don't never not try. Jersey a little different too. It's hard for me to do stuff out here, even in my own backyard. So a lot of the things I do is outside of here, outside of New York, which is cool because a lot of this stuff is crowded anyway.
yeah.
Uh, it's not always in the best interest to try to put on shows out here because a lot of times people don't come or man, dudes to come. You got to really, really promote hard to get cats to come out to your shit like that. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Before I let Pestilence ask you a question, I just wanted to speak real quick on Jersey's actually one of the only states on the East Coast that I have not ever played. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I've never been able to play there is because most of the routes that I've tried to build in the recent times out on the East
Mhm.
Coast, all the venues out there, bro, they charge booking fees, bro.
Yeah.
Like there ain't no venues in Jersey that I can find that doesn't charge booking fees. And
I don't know where that comes from.
I'm like, bro, I'm on tour. You think I'm paying a booking fee before like what?
Yeah,
What are we
because
talking?
a lot of these places, it's different now when you say get in the door compared to the bar and the door and everything. So some of these places know about that. So they come where they either charging you for the like you say booking fee or the high ass bar tab. And you ain't from that city, you don't know what kind of crowd you're gonna get. So it's not like my man coming to town, even if you have certain people show up. A lot of people don't like spending no money. Everybody want to get in free, so you have that dilemma. So it's like a lot of the times they want to make their money off the top. No different than if we say, well, let's get the door. They want to know that people gonna come in to drink or even buy some food. That's a gift. So I don't understand why they have all these stipulations when it comes to booking. When I I know we got to get the people in there, and but at the same time, it make it hard for you to try to make any damn money because
Exactly.
they want you to pay for the spot first.
Yeah, but it's crazy and it's hard to route through there because of that. But yeah,
Yeah, look,
Pesto.
trust me, bro. I know guys that throw parties out here, and we all live out here, and
Yeah,
it's hard to get good venues to even do stuff like that. So this is why I travel outside of my own city.
it's the same reason. Same reason I'm not here 95% of the time with my shows.
I
But
don't really know too many. I mean, unless you live in New York, but I don't know a lot of people that can do one spot all the time. Especially when no matter if you're from Brooklyn, Staten Island, you got to get out of where you're from. 'Cause everybody know you.
I feel that. Pest, you got something?
Yeah, man. Well, kind of the quick add on to that. Yeah. So yeah, the Mad World thing, we're definitely it's kind of the reason we started it was the venue issue and the conundrum with finding places that understood that it's a business for us as well as it is for them. And with the understanding that yeah, they got to make their money too. So we've definitely tried to structure and build things in a way where we can have a budget for the entertainment and make sure that the artists all get paid that come through, and focus on that first, and if we put out a good product there, we've been noticing. I mean, it's like anywhere. If you have good entertainment there all the
Right,
time,
right.
people are going to be willing to spend some money to come in and check out what you got. So, definitely, yeah, would be interested down the road, and we want to make it a consistent spot where we're bringing through people. I know we got Blueprint coming through in August, as our kind of our first big hip hop show where we're bringing somebody through. So, definitely something we'll stay in contact with. But one thing
Yeah,
I'm always
definitely,
curious
man.
about.
And I always
Um,
believe in doing the record store stuff, even like we come in early, do an in-store. A lot of this stuff matters because it helps, where people get, to come out to see before you come to perform. A lot of times, some people might not come to the show, but depending on age and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like, I come to here and we having a pop-up event before the show. And if y'all want
yeah,
to still come to the show, you know what I'm saying, whether the store that we have to pop up at, selling tickets, whatever the case may be, all of this stuff works when it's all put together. And, I don't expect to go everywhere and everybody know. I've been in the game for over almost 20, 30 years now. So not everybody always know, especially if I haven't been on TV in so long. Word of mouth goes deep, but at the same time, it's about you know, me making the video for the show, letting everybody at least know on my end before I get there, because I don't expect it to be a crowd if they don't know I'm coming.
Yeah.
right. No, that's huge.
Real quick. He just said that, and it made me think Pestilence Automatic. The cool thing about that, L, is Pestilence also has a direct tie to one of probably the coolest record store in Green Bay. So that could be a tie-in situation whenever we would maybe be able to make something like that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I always believe
Yeah,
in that, like having somebody, be involved in whether it be a college radio show, a record store, like that helps do the promotion, even if it's through the store, whether it's flyers in the store. A lot of the stuff that we did before that not say we abandoned, but people stopped doing now has to be done again. So we
yeah,
can have a street team and people are like, what the hell is that? I'm like, yo, like you could pay a few people, a couple of cats, you may know $5 to $10, like, yo, I give you this in the bag of bud. Go out there, put these flyers out. And
yeah,
we going back to that grassroots again, because as we all know, the internet is the same way. You can have an Instagram page, Facebook page, make an event page, do all that stuff, but everybody's attention span is like this, so they might not see your event. So it's like, okay, what's around? Let's go to all the stores, all the food spots, all the bars. Yo, can I put these in here? Whether they come slap them shit down, whatever, at least you know that you tried. And if somebody say, most of the time when I do shows and I go to these places, and the next day after it's over, I put up a video. People like, oh, shit, I didn't even know you was out here. I ain't see no flyers. Or I'm like, nah, 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 nah. That I don't believe in that either. It's somebody out there, especially you know what you're doing, and the word is out. I expect if there's not so many places that do the kind of hip hop we do, they should be there. So
right.
it's just really about getting the word out a lot more. But there's a lot of tactics people using now that's like going back to that.
No, we totally agree. I mean, we print all our own flyers out there. We've got a couple young kids, the security guys that are on our little street
You already
team. We
know.
pass
Yeah.
out packs of flyers to each of them. They go around and hit all the main hubs, all the gas
Mhm.
stations, all the bus stops, all that stuff, everywhere where flyers go.
Right.
And so yeah, I mean, that's how we've been building the word of mouth for the venue and just trying to make it a spot where there's always something going on. But
Mhm.
one thing I'm always curious about when I talk to somebody that's been, inundated in the culture as long as you have is what your process looks like for somebody to have been doing this as long as you have and still be consistent, still be passionate about it, still be wanting to do this, full sprint. What does your process look like to you?
Well, this is first of all, it's work. I tell a lot of people that it's been work for since the time I signed that contract. And I left my job. Uh, when you look at it in that way, it's like you really don't have a choice. You have to produce. You have to put some kind of product together. And it's coming from being on a major label, being with a partner, being with a DJ. You know, even when we had that and then split up, then we was by ourselves and both finding our way. You tend to go in survival mode, and you know you do what you know. Like once I got solo, I was okay. Let me figure out like do even people want to hear me by myself? You know, once I got those first records out, put some singles out, I got some footing. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. But that process became, I knew how much more I had to write. I knew how much more I had to concentrate on my show. I had to really start doing call and response, things that I wasn't doing as an artist, even before I was solo. I had to learn to do because I knew that was going to help me, but I didn't know, you know, what I was actually going to be doing. So I knew I had to write three 16-bar verses, two 16-bar verses, and a hook, all this by myself. Yeah, I'm gonna have some scratching in it, you know, but through that is what made the process a little bit easier because in the beginning it wasn't easy at all, you know. So I had to convince myself that I can do this to be able to still like at least function or eat off of it. And once I put my first couple of records out, um, I got a little comfortable and was able to go on tour. Once I went on tour, it was like, okay, let's. I did more records. I was like a free agent on different basketball teams until I got to Seven Heads and had a home where I could, you know, put the records out. You know, I thought I'd probably do more than one album with them, but it turned out to be different. And, you know, I was back to being a free agent, but doing it differently than when I had first started off being a solo artist. So like from that time period to now, the process has been just, you know, even with now, like I said, Tame going, Chaos going, it's really like go hard every release. It still treat everything the same as if they were here. No different than like you said, but so that same process goes into that. Even though the chemistry different, it's still the same mental process of like, all right, we're gonna make this record like this, we're gonna do this. There's really no one way to do anything, but it was just that I know I had to do more. And with that, I started going into different things of working with different regions of people, whether it's in Poland, uh, Germany, snow goons, a lot of different people I work with overseas. I had to make that my regular. So even now, here we are, 2025. I'm still doing the same thing. It's just that I'm trying to upgrade in a lot of the stuff I'm doing. Uh, you know, it never been a manager or a booking agent. It's been just doing everything and having relationships with people to do all this stuff. But without me doing what I'm doing, there's nothing to latch on to say, let's do business. If I don't have no music, I can't go on tour. So all this is like a reality of if this don't happen, then nothing happens. So I got to always be on a step ahead of myself. Whatever the last show gonna be, I got to make sure every month there's something going on, even if it's not a show. It better be some features. It got to be, you know, all avenues lead to one goal. So pretty much that's what it's been, you know, for years.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up, man. Speaking of the process behind albums, you do have a lot of solo projects. I checked the Discog. Some of them I didn't even know you had done,
Right,
and
right, right.
the Discog goes deep. So speaking of a process, did you end up attempting to tour for all those solo releases? Did you do that?
Uh, yeah, pretty much like when I did the Relax, Relate, Release album, I was just really like getting on my feet, doing a lot of shows. I had went to Europe by myself, you know, but like even with the singles I put out, everything is looked at as to go on tour or do a shirt or do both, hit the road. Like So when Last Relate released, I was on tour. When I did the Unusual, I was on tour, and that was the time where I started working with the returners from Poland, and I had started going over there, and I was promoting my Unusual album, working on new music with them, and touring while I was out there with them. So it always worked, even if we touring. A lot of these songs I put out was while I was on tour. The song with the returners, Ain't Tripping. We was on tour in Canada with my brother Ghetto Socks, and we had a couple of days off, and we went to the studio and recorded that song, and wound up putting that out on the remix EP of the songs I did with them. So it's like, but like me and Sadat, same thing, hit the road. Me and Tame put the album out, hit the road. So yeah, the mentality is like being on the label. If you used to doing one thing and you can't stop doing that because you know that's what you're supposed to be doing, it's gonna be done intentionally. You know, even when COVID was going on and it was pandemic season, I was doing, I got them shots, and I was running around doing in stores and pop up. I was to Boston, I was in LA, I was in Albany, I was everywhere. Just because I knew I couldn't do a crowd, I'm gonna do something, and it's gonna be a set at the store too. So even with now the last album I did with my brother Men Plus, I'm still trying to tour up that. We still pushing that record. And like I said, it is so crowded out here in these streets of doing these tours. Everybody's out. So it's hard for a lot of these promoters to kind of focus on one thing because everybody's working. So, and that's been the one thing I say has been different in the last 2 or 3 years. Everybody's starting to open their doors a little bit more, lot more festivals being done. Um, so it's just like you got to get your name out there, put it in the hat, or like if you got bread, you get and like you said, investing in yourself to go on tour. But everybody's not always going to be keen to that. So a lot of people might think that you want to do a deal and stuff. I'm like, look, I got some bread. How much it costs to rent the place out, and I make my own rules, and y'all take the ball. So there's a lot of stuff with that, where I'm realizing it might have to come down to that sometimes when it's not a promoter, which is cool. Because, if I always said if I'm a fail on my own. And I'd rather, burn myself. And rather than all the time not knowing, at least I'll figure it out. But until then, yeah, with every release, I'm always trying to be out. So, that's a given. When it don't happen, is we make something happen.
That's what's up, man. What was the can you describe because I've never been a part of a major label. Major labels and hip hop were kind of when I got into the shit more heavy, you were already able to do it hardcore as an indie artist, you know what I'm saying? So what what does that look like from the outside looking in? Like what is a major label like back then when you guys were part of that?
Now that I know both ways, it was basically like, uh, consignment. You know what I mean? Like loan, anything you
Mm,
can say that has to do with anything to get you forward without you even seeing the money but it's coming out of your contract. So
mm,
I started to understand all of that when it came to the video budget and this, that, and the third. I'm like, this is coming out of our pocket, even if we don't know it. Going on promo tours. I don't care. Per diem. A lot of this shit is within the budget. So the only difference I saw with being an independent artist and not being on a major was that there's no safety net. There's no loan. There's no money up front. You know what I'm saying? Like today we know is not an independent label that's going to give you bread up front. You know, that'd be rare unless you're working with a really like how them E1 records used to be, all that Koch records type shit. But it's no money up front today. It never was really money up front. Even with that, we were just working in a big house. You know what I'm saying? Where it was Atlantic Records, and we could pretty much do what we want and have that shine to it. Me and Tame was dirty at a shiny label. We knew what Atlantic was about. You know, that's why we started on an independent label for Big Beat. And once Big Beat got sucked into Atlantic, and we became Atlantic artists now. You know, but we had everything on lock at that label. We had a lot of press. We had a lot of everything there. Nothing really was bad going on there, except for when we started realizing, all right, like, other people got signed. The attention wasn't so much there. We were still this group on this very big label.
Mm.
So we knew we wasn't making music for them. They knew that too. And it got to a point with a lot of labels that had independent say artists on their labels that was a major label. They didn't see a return. You know, though me and Tame did have a good reputation on the label. You know, once I think we did the second album, they had to look at it in a way of, you know, we can't make these dudes make no commercial records. We can't make them be shiny suit dudes and anything like that. You know, start making these songs that wasn't graffiti, it wasn't where we came from. So I think they just probably was like, we gotta let them go, even though we loved them. You know, a lot of other stuff came into play too. But so once I left, doing it like this is like being on is the your own boss until you get signed to a so-called independent label. You know, where it's always potential, whether you upstairs or downstairs. But being in it as long as I've seen the good and the bad in both. And being independent means really that to be free to do what you want, but also to be careful in doing what you want. Because you'll run into people that's not in the same mainframe as yourself. And again, you'll be working for somebody again who's not, say, as smart as you may be or experienced, but then you run into that, and these are the prices you pay to be free, And but with being on a major, it was pretty much like, you know, you come in, you get that treatment. And when I say that, yeah, you get the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? They putting it together, packaging it, promoting, marketing, publicity, all of that. Now when you're doing it by yourself, it costs. And which is, how it's supposed to be. Because everybody got to make money doing what they're doing, but doing it this way is many different ways to do it. It don't necessarily cost a lot of money to promote a lot of stuff. And if people got your back, you'll get a lot of help in doing all this stuff. So, independently, I would rather be doing it that way. I'll be scared to go back to a mainstream label if you ask me, because then that means that I'm locked up again. I can't be as free as I want to be. I had to probably do some things I might not want to do. You got to listen to people who don't know what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
And you're just telling your secrets to people. So it really just independently, you need money to do all this stuff, but it don't necessarily mean you have to go to a major. I know the difference now, and that's why I haven't been back yet.
I feel that, man. Pez, you got something?
Yeah, so when you're writing and when you're creating music and stuff, because obviously you've done a lot of that, what do you draw from as your inspiration and how do you like replenish your stores? Like, are you a reader? Do you watch movies or like what kind of stuff are you into to kind of replenish your sources?
I listen to, well, I'm an avid fan always, so I'm listening to everybody's stuff. If anything, I would say with Chaos being our DJ for so long, being around him made me pay attention to everybody else. You know, as I was always a fan of everybody, it just me watching and listening inspires me because when you see other people doing stuff you know you're supposed to be doing, you want to get in. You know, it's like sitting on the bench and you watching everybody play. You know you're nice. You're like, yo, I need to put me in the game, coach, because I could burn better than him. So to watch everybody else play, you know, keeps me uh, grounded in the way of saying like, still, if they doing it, you could do it too. You know, and with that, it's something that I don't take for granted. I'm still able to make records and be involved in business that I didn't think I'd be in it for this long anyway. So I draw energy from my past. Uh, More energy today for the fact that I'm alone. So it makes me work a little bit harder. Uh, I have people around me that I won't say so much to cheer me on, but that want to work just as much as I do. I think when people see me doing what I'm doing, they may be surprised to think that my attitude may be still like how you say, keep going, you know, but then that's coming in with the competition of being in hip hop, the fact that you want to prove that you're still good and that you still got some. It ain't even like saying still this, still that, but it in terms of where my age, yes, I have to say it in that way because I don't want to be a doubt in people's minds that like so even if they hear me talking about it today, of course when they hear the music, that speaks for itself. That is more important to me than anything because that's what everybody believes. So if they hear me today and they hear, I'm like, damn, okay. He sound, if not the same, close to the same as he did when he started. But musically, everything is heightened. Everything is for today. You know, to try to be as relevant as possible is also one of the main things in doing this because you know if you sound dated, cats will let you know. And that's the thing that I have to prove to people today and see me on stage. So that is the energy I try to put out there to where it's like, you know, I want people to know Elder Sensei is not mad in 2025 doing hip hop. You know, there's a lot of opportunities out here, a lot of different work I've been doing, but it's the climbing part, keep going is the thing that gets me up every day. You know, the day of the email stop asking for features, the day the emails for booking stop. When people start saying, yo, he's ass, L is whack on this release or this project, I don't know. When I start seeing stuff like that and hearing stuff like that, then I'll start hanging it up. But that's until then, that's what keep me going. But like especially for us writing. So like, you know, to see all my friends that came out still putting out records, it's hard not to. You know what I'm saying? Like Pharrell Month's got a whole new album. You see LL put an album out, Rakim, you know, you still see Wu-Tang out here, Redman. It's so much, you know, Lords of the Underground, everybody not stopping. So there's no reason for me to stop, you know, and that's why I told Tame, even when we got back together, I'm like, look, there's no reason to not to be a solo artist because we got back together. Still put out your records, still do your records the same as if
Right.
you were solo. So, you know, and that was my thing I wanted to put out there for him to know and everybody else. Like, just because I'm doing this, that's why me and Sadat came. That's why, like, was even still able to do another album with Tame before he passed. So that's like work ethic wise. This is how I'm thinking, like all the time. New shit, new shit, new shit. Even if we don't tour it, new stuff. You know, because it's about to,
Wow.
it's really about it's going back to how we was before, like, but without a fat beach store, without a big store, you know. But it's now everybody on purpose got to really work hard and get involved.
Well, I mean, that's the thing I think that makes hip hop so great is that you don't, no one passes the torch. You gotta earn that. You gotta take that
Yeah,
torch. You gotta
and the
come and
thing
take
is
the
keeping the
torch.
torch lit.
Yeah. It has to. So if there aren't people there to take it, like as far as I'm concerned, there's As long as the passion's still there and people are still enjoying it, I want to hear y'all rhyme forever.
Exactly.
You know,
I told my man,
that's
I told Tame, he didn't believe me. I said, we gonna be wrong side of the track until we die. And he always laughed about it. I said, yes, trust me, look, now it's gonna be left up to me. I'm gonna be coming out with a cane or some kind of something to support me. And I'm gonna come out there rocking like, yup, old man. And I don't care if y'all want to see it, because if y'all want to see Rolling Stones and all these other people do shows, y'all gonna see us stand up there old as hell with a mic too.
yeah.
So,
I feel that, man. Um, Being in Jersey and basically starting to pop around the same time a lot of these other uh dope artists out of Jersey started popping. Like I'm thinking, Redman, Poor Righteous Teachers, Artifacts, and then maybe Outsiders. Like being in that realm, was it uh was it love between all y'all like that were popping around the same time, or was it like more competition?
nah, it was love. The only thing I would say that we didn't capitalize on out here was being like New York. Because I'll explain this in a way where I'm sure all my Jersey cats, if you ask them, will probably say the same thing. Not coming from the mecca of hip hop, all of us, I don't care who you are, uh, my man Lakim Shabazz, all the whole flavor unit, Apache, Chill Rob G. When we all came out, as we're leaving, when we say we coming out, we're also leaving Jersey because we're going out into the world to show who we are. And like other cities that's not New York, you are proving yourself to the New York crowd, the New York fans, the streets of who you are. So when you're trying to break out and be accepted, you're doing that not thinking about home. Um, we all have been successful. Every Jersey act coming out have been successful, mostly because we're not from New York, but because we have a sound, an individual sound, even apart from each other. Redman don't sound like Artifacts. Lord of the Underground don't sound like Redman. Real Live don't sound like World Renowned. But musically, because K Def did World Renowned, did Real Live, did Lord of the Underground, that is the similar sound within his crew part from a Jersey thing. And that's the closest thing I could say, that we had that was kind of something like that. But majority, we all were trying to make it. So we wasn't thinking about looking back to not say, come on, y'all, but we didn't say after we was all popping to get together on some Justice League and say, let's do some team ups. Because you were still trying to be successful out in the world. And what we never thought of that. And I say that to say years and years later, you look online now, or you ask the cat now from Jersey, we all working together. Redman Light It Up song was the first time we all was on a track like that, like far as like mad Jersey artists, that represented every part of who came out, besides
Yeah.
the ones that are deceased. So we never took advantage of that part of, making records where we could do posse things, besides Flavor Unit being a posse in itself. Uh, even when Latifah expanded it and made it a label more than just management. So, but that was our issue. We didn't take advantage of that for the world to see. I could give you a bunch of links where you can see songs with, even myself when I work with Returners, I was like, yo, I'm gonna call Tresh to get on the song with me. And I was in Poland, they sat right there, heard me and him on the phone, and he's like, yeah, yo, I went to school with these dudes. So it's like they was my competition in high school,
Yeah.
battling but not battling, but dance battles and shit like that. But like we all were able to get together at a time and say, "Oh, that's what's up. You and Tame, y'all have a ride." You know what I'm saying? When Ronstadt came out, him and Vinny, they were so happy for us. But I went to school with them, so it was like we joined a fraternity in Jersey. You know, and it's like with everybody else that came in after us too. It was the same way. So it was never no beef with no Jersey artists. You know, I just think that we were always trying to like make our way in, like, pushing through the door and like not caring, like, yo, I'm standing here, I'm getting in here, and not looking back. And not until we saw how successful Jersey was and was able to sit back and like, wow, I always tell people when you look at all the Jersey artists in one room, nobody sounds the same, nobody rap the same. We all got all different slang, but we from Jersey. But this is what kind of I say New York influence put on us to where it's like we sound like them in a sense, but from a whole other place that wasn't from the five boroughs.
Man, I wish it sounds like there's so much love there, man, between the
Oh
artists.
yeah.
I wish there was more of that everywhere. I've never really felt that um being where I'm at really. It's always been either like behind the scenes beef or like opportunist shit or rap shit, like battle shit. Like I don't notice the love like you're talking about around where I'm at. I guess
Yeah,
I
it's
just
more of a
wish.
crabs in the bucket mentality of that region there
Well, that usually
where he's
happens
at.
when you got one person doing one thing and everybody, I mean, like nobody else doing the same. That's pretty much where that comes from. And when you the only one that like kind of successful doing it, working with other artists, and nobody else is, it's gonna be hate. You know what I'm saying? And for where we from, it was pretty much when it was your turn, it was your turn. And that don't mean you don't pay attention to everybody else, but it's like, yo, you get your turn and you keep that shit as long as you can and not care. Sometimes you got to really not give a fuck about what everybody else doing or saying because
Mm,
that'll be the thing that'll hold you back, even in your own city. And that's when you got to do what you always been doing. Just get out.
yeah.
Like home is home. Home is gonna. You see, like, that's L. You know what I'm saying? Like, people see me, what? You acting funny, L? Like, so people gonna check you because you're home. I've been out any other place but home and been with my friends. We go to New York and people we walking down the street, people be like, yo, you Elvis? And my man be like, yo, like, look, see, look. To you, I'm Elliot. I'm L. I'm your friend. My friends, they gonna never look at me like Elder Sensei. We walk down the street and we go to a spot. We, we go to a spot. Somebody gonna be like that, and they gonna be like, yo, they was really acting like that. I'm like, yeah, cause you ain't looking at me like you Elder Sensei. It's like, no, that's Elliot. So, but that don't mean that the shine is diminished. It just showed them that, like, oh shit, like you really, I do just like all the people you respect. I do the same thing they do. So trust me, bro. I get all of that. I get
Yeah.
so much. So and because people expect certain things, and I tell them not to, but when it's time to do the work, and when you're out in the atmosphere where, oh shit, like yeah, you do that shit. Like yeah, so but because I'm not on it like that, it shouldn't be no questioning or anything like that. But sometimes people got to know, and sometimes like it's just too bad for them. And you can't worry about the next motherfucker who ain't as popping as you. It's just they gotta get their shit up, tighten up.
I feel it,
You
man.
know,
Um, so Pez, you can ask him, and then I literally have two more questions for you. I don't want to keep you too late, but Pez, what you got?
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna have me ask him something in specific. I was like, oh damn, you're gonna like fucking like make the question for me, and then you didn't, and then I was
No,
like,
I
oh
did
shit,
not. I did not.
you flooded my brain. Is there anybody that, as somebody that's been in this for so long, is there anybody that you haven't worked with, that you
Wow,
wish you would have gotten an opportunity to?
a lot of people. Like I think my man Beneficence, he's a dude from Jersey. He co-runs Illadrenalin Records. And when I look at his roster of people that he did songs with, I'm like, damn, his list look like my dream list. So it's like because I don't have certain tools to get everybody I want, but Chubb Rock, Special Ed,
Mm.
people from my past that made me want to rhyme. I actually got to do a song with CL Smooth, so that's one thing completed. I love to get a track or a project done with P Rock, even if I had to pay for it, which I know I will. So like Primo, most of my shit is with like producers, um, but like most of MCs I've kind of like worked with, you know, except for my elders. But like I did a song with Pharaoh and Poe. Early. I would love to do a song with Tash and J. Roll, do an alcoholic song. Uh, I like to do a song with El Zai, uh, Skyzoo. Well, Skyzoo, we just did a song together. So it's like, my list of MCs and favorites of my own, but also well known to others. So like when I do get a chance to do that, it's like a notch in the belt. So I'm just really trying to like keep adding holes to my belt so I can keep doing this stuff. So yeah, like cats like that. Um, I'm about to work with I, Grap and Robbo. So there's a lot of things happening right now that's like adding on to that list of like people that I really want to do songs with. So it's still going.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's dope, man. So I want to know if you have a rare, maybe something you haven't really spoke on, um, often or not, a rare maybe tour moment or memory, from the Artifacts era of you and Tame.
Oh man. Um, okay, I got a good one. We did a tour in Japan, '94. We did a show and we went with Stretch Armstrong, my man DJ E Kim, and from New York, and we did this one spot called the Cave, and we actually had to perform twice in the spot. We performed earlier in the night, like my 8, 9 o'clock. Then we went back in like about 12 and went all through the night. And it was like two females that was with the promoter, and the promoter had a few dudes with him. And uh, we wasn't talking to them, which wasn't nothing, nothing chilling. Somehow, one of the guys that was with the promoter, I don't know if he was drinking when we wasn't looking, but he was at the hotel with us. He was there when we was doing the interview and all this shit. Get back to the spot, and these two girls that was with them was, I guess, geeking off me and Tame because they knew they had saw the show prior. So they, hanging with us now. They start talking to us. My man got furious. I don't know what the hell happened to him inside his brain, but like a couple of the words they said to us, uh, the spot is filling up, and it was no stage. It was just like a DJ booth, and Stretch was in there, and we went to the DJ booth with Stretch because this is what we was gonna perform at. Stretch is here, me here, Tame here. But when we was watching the people in there coming in, the guy that was with the promoter that snapped, we saw him arguing with the two girls in front of the DJ booth because the girls are looking at us after the booth was Stretch. And he just like went straight karate movie on them, punching the girl, kicking them all kind. I'm like, what the? I'm like, what the fuck is happening right out there on the floor? So we go run out there. He runs. The girls are standing like this in the middle of the dance floor. We take them in the back where the dressing room is at. I mean, like one chick eye was like swole and getting black immediately. and everybody walking around like nothing's happened. Promoters like, what y'all want? Some more to drink? I'm like, no, get them some ice. So he think I'm saying
What
drink
the
ice for their
fuck?
eye. Her lip, the other girl lip busted, and my man was like but he kept coming back to them. That's what was tripping me out. Why nobody wasn't stopping him even on the dance floor, because he would pop, 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 run away, come back. Pop, 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 pop. I'm like, what? So I'm like, yo, this is some, and the show, they still hung out and stayed, even with the ice packs on their face. They watching us perform, and we performed so hard. I don't know, the power went out in the building. Uh, and maybe like for 20 minutes, came back on. People didn't leave. It was wild, man. Like that was one time I could say, and like when we went to the spot, nothing was wrong. We left out the place, going back to our hotel because you could walk to where we were going. Graffiti was everywhere. Like I don't know what happened. People left out of there so charged up, and it was writing on the walls all through that downtown Shibuya. And I can say that's probably one of the weirdest things that ever happened in a time frame of one night
That's
where
crazy.
rocking at 9 it was regular and then rocking at 12 it changed. So that was kind of crazy.
That shit sounds crazy as fuck. Like I don't
And they
even.
don't go to we broke day doing that too. So like we was in there in that club for a minute and we came out. It was daylight. I was like, damn. So
Mm.
That's. I mean, that easily. I don't know about easily. It tops one of my craziest. One of them that I had was with Pestilence. Actually, we've spoken on that show multiple times, which is super crazy. I actually have a crazy story real quick about a show I did in um Pittsburgh at this random spot. I was waiting for him to post a flyer and all this shit, and it took him mad long to post a flyer, and then like I'm like five days out from like the show. I'm like already on tour. And then I'm like 5 days out and they still haven't posted this flyer. And then all of a sudden, they tag me in this event and the flyer, and it's at the venue. And I'm like, oh, cool. Let me see what this is about. And I open up the shit, and the flyer says tacos and titties with Tayamu Denku.
wow.
And bro, I got
Whose
to the
idea was that?
I, bro, I don't know. It was crazy. So I get to the venue, and it's like this big long thing. You walk in first, there's like some random independent people selling like soul food plates, which was good as fuck, by the way. I bought one myself, but they're selling those. Um and then you walk to the back, and there's strippers on stage getting money thrown at them. And I'm like, wait, so I'm supposed to perform after the strippers now?
Yeah, right. Titties out.
Like what is happening right now? And then when I start performing, I get like this weird dumbfounded look because people are there for titties and not rapping. It was the it was the weird, it was one of my weirdest
I'm sure that
shows.
was crazy. I'm sure that was crazy.
It was real crazy. It was real crazy. The only person that was there that was for a hip hop show, I don't know, you probably know who it is. The producer, cause she's from there, Murder Megs. You know Murder
Yeah,
Megs?
yeah, got no mags. Yep.
So she was actually there. That's where she bought my Collabzilla shirt, was at that event. And she loved the show that I did. I don't even know how I performed properly. Like strippers gave me the strippers gave me
Titties all
stank
around you.
and strippers gave me stank faces the whole performance. They're like,
Hurry up,
what?
sir.
They're like, what's he even doing? Ugh, like just stank faces the whole time. And then I get off
That
stage,
that
huh?
that promoter was definitely on cocaine when
It
he
was
created that idea.
so
Oh yeah,
bro.
whoever did that word, it was on something.
It was
He was
so
on something, dude.
ridiculous.
There's no way that guy was sober when he came up with that idea.
You want to do titties in the back, tacos in the front, and ramen in the middle.
The thing about
Yeah,
it, there
that's
was no
crazy.
tacos. There was no tacos. There were soul food plates There was no tacos, and then there were strippers.
So that's crazy.
They
It
just
was,
wanted the alliteration, bro.
Yeah, they were
yeah,
just trying to gather some people up. Let's figure it out.
yeah. Well, speaking of food, real quick, favorite Jersey restaurant, or at least a top five for you. If I hit Jersey, tell me where I'm going.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get a sandwich. I can take it to Cooper's. Cooper's is well known for like not finishing the sandwich because there's so much meat and everything on it. It's a big sandwich. So we're gonna talk about some food. We're gonna take it to Manny's. It's a Dominican place I go to, and it's banging. Uh, what's another spot? Okay, so Rutgers University got a sandwich spot, and this place you can make up your own sandwich. You can put like you can have uh burgers on the sandwich with mozzarella sticks, chicken tenders, you name it. Making it, you can make the name up on your own, but it's called the Fat Sandwich, and the most famous sandwich is Fat Sam. So it's the theme to every sandwich. So we can go there. We can go to another spot. So like I'm not too far from like a good Spanish area. So you can go to like Portuguese area. It's a spot called Topaz. That I don't know if you like paella or anything like that.
Hmm.
That's a good place for good Spanish food there. It's almost like being in Barcelona, if you ask me. Um, what's another place called Cornbread? It's a soul food spot right across the street from City Hall in Newark. That's a dope place to eat. Very clean. They have vegan options, but they also have the best fish and the cornbread. They're good for that too. And five, I know I might be messing up. Um, yeah, the four spots I go to. I don't know.
I'm, I'm at,
But okay,
well,
all right. If we want to get some pizza, not too far from me is a spot called Nico. Now, Nico's is the last place around here that have real Italians making your food. You're
hmm,
not getting the Habib not making your pizza. You're getting real Italian dudes making it different. When my man Tariq back there cooking, it's like you want people that really cooking the food that's from that place to make the food.
yeah,
So if I'm getting pizza, I want Sal to make it. So yeah, Sal's in there in the back making their pizza. So that's the one pizza spot that's still good. And they make the big ass sandwiches. So if you ever out here, and that's not too far from me, we can definitely go that way.
bro. I'm just letting you know if I'm in Jersey and you're in Jersey,
Oh no, you come out here, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of
bro.
you.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Like,
about.
you ain't gotta even ask me nothing. I'm just taking where we gotta go.
Senku
Yes,
Eats.
thank you. Eats. You already know what it is.
Fits into
Word
the
up.
Food Network, bro.
Pez,
Include, right.
Pez, hit him with the last pestilence question, bro.
So we always we ask everybody that comes on the channel whether they're a hip hop artist or not. And last week we actually had legendary actor Keith Coogan on the podcast, and he did do it. If you'd be down to drop some bars for everybody to kind of close us out.
Okay, let me think. Okay. We get it popping with the mass of the ballpoint and loose leaf. Highly informative like a news brief. Abused beats infused my dues paid. School days, first nigga with the fade of my grade. Aid in the bob by rules that you played it aside. While I convey with the mess of medicine to prescribe. Settle odds with the most indistinct, the skill of trade. Makes a lethal combination success and bill of trade. Recognizable voice, yet I adapt to any sequence. APT participant, I visit frequent. In a leisurely pace, my words fill in the space. Fill in the gaps of the missing as a piss in the face. Made in a state of car chase, gun toting hooligans. Me and Tame play DJ Chaos, yeah, we do it again. Do it like this, do it like that. Still rep the team, still repping artifacts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some real quick.
Yes,
Hell
yes,
yeah.
yes, man.
Hell
L
yeah.
let let the people know where they can find you at and and what you got coming up, man?
Man, like there's a lot going on right now. Right now, if any one of y'all, if anybody watch TV, you watch BMF, you watch Raising Canaan, Dope Thief on Apple TV, you can catch me on any of these shows. I got a couple of songs on these shows. Just BMF had it, and these songs ain't the song that's out, so I'm just quoting for the songs that they go along. So as for the shows. But me and my brother Mint Plus got an album out right now called The Unexpected. You can look forward to my Unusual album I put out 2006 is about to be re-released. I'm working on Artifacts remix album of the No Expiration Date album, and there's a lot of producers on there. And me and my brother Cake Beats working on the album compilation at that. A lot of different MCs. Lakim Shabazz is on there. I always say his name first because that's like one of my mentors. We got a lot of new cats on there. A lot of my friends that don't get chances to get on records is on some of these songs. So a lot of stuff is about to come out. So y'all be prepared. The music is still up to par, still quality, still what y'all want. So it's a lot coming.
Dope, man. Real quick, is the '06 record that's being re-released, is that gonna be re-released on vinyl? Is that what
it is? And
okay, so
it out.
So let me know when that comes out, because I want to get one of those, and I would love to have. I've recently been on my fucking vinyl signature collector shit.
Oh no, I got you. As soon as I know they're gonna be sending me boxes, I got you.
Word up, bro. I appreciate you the fullest, man. Well, this has been super dope, man. This has been the CyphaDen Chat presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams, because you will never know what you are fully capable of.
Never stop.
I'm your host, Tame One. That's my homie Pestilence, or tonight, a Pestis Gloop. You already know, man. You already know. And tonight we had special guest, the homie, the family, Jersey's own, Elder Sensei, Artifacts, all that goodness.
No doubt,
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, man. Have a good night, bro.
Okay, you too. Good, y'all.